Hey guys, we're here playing Leela against an HB Engineering the Future. So he's kept his hand, we've kept our hand. I think having Desperado early is pretty great. Let's face check some Architects or whatever. That's me in, so I get to see Jackson Howard. Let that sit. With no programs, I'm not as worried about this. That's me in again. Biotic labor. Alright, let's click the draw. Pretty fantastic draw, actually. That's about the best possible card right now. Excuse me. So, to ask ourselves why he didn't res those ice. I thought he would probably res one or the other. Especially against Leela, people will often res their ice just so you can't bounce it later on. So what we're going to do here, I think we're going to check R&D. And we'll leave HQ lightly pressured. And then this ice will hopefully still be unres when we score an agenda. We can get our siphon in. Donna's campaign on top. Sure. He's presumably throwing his agendas out. And then we're going to get to see another card here. Or maybe we shouldn't, because it could be Architect, which is pretty strong on last click. Jackson for 3. Yeah, let's just draw here. Another breaker, pretty good. So the question with special orders, are we going to get Mimic or do we get Fairy? If we get Fairy, it's kind of going to tie this over. And it would make us safe against anything unexpectedly large, like an EG2. If we have Mimic, we've got to be careful about what we run into. Another ice up on here. Our other option is just brute force him and just install 3 breakers and start siphoning, which can be pretty reasonable. I'm still going to check here because he doesn't have anything in his archives to recur in its first action. Yeah. So this is good for him in a way, but it also tells him what the ice is. Mimic can beat it pretty easily. And we can check these remotes afterwards getting Desperado money, so it's not going to be an immense blowout for him. You really can't be too scared to just run things. Okay, so he's installing from R&D and installing something on his HQ. I think that's really Crisium Grid. Probably not. It's probably just Ash, something like that. Let's see what's on top. Eliza's Toybox. Oh. So he's playing a really big ice deck. Interesting. So this is probably some monstrous thing, and maybe this is also. I want to know what this upgrade is. If it's Crisium, we need to know that before we siphon. Celebrity gift. So he's definitely on Glacier. There's an Ash. Did we trash him? Probably not. We gotta check this just in case. Another Eliza's Toybox. So we trashed this one. Blah. Yeah. Let's draw and throw out our extra desperado. So we got legwork now. Probably not as exciting. Let's see what he reses for free. There's no point paying for to trash this when it's unres when he's trying to draw another one off the top. Best we can do is just trash it now that he's res this. Okay, there's an archer. We do play 2 shutdowns, so we do have some answers to that. That's actually a pretty great draw. We can get rid of this, which we have to do, or he just reses this for free as well. Now we think about this. Are we going to set up breakers? Yeah, we probably want to start getting our breakers together, and I think it's going to be Mimic. Well, no, it should probably be Fairy. Reason I think Fairy is because he's presumably playing more archers. And maybe even some other large, scary sentry that he can use Toybox on. So we can try to siphon now. We can install 2 breakers and siphon him, but he probably would dump all his money into the ice, and it would not connect. Really? Gonna biotic out an agenda here. Going to $0, so he's not gonna end up getting siphoned. But we need to basically draw into shutdown, because now's a pretty good time to use it. Do we think he has another one? We could legwork him just to go for a follow-up. Man. I have no idea what he's up to with going to $0 like this. He has Toybox in hand. He has a mystery ice, which we could find out what it is. Seems fine. We see Quandary. All right. I don't think he would have scored that if he had anything in his hand. Like at the 2 cards we didn't know were an agenda. It's clicking for money, and we probably think that's the Quandary, right? Yeah, we might as well just install this anyway. We can go through. Just want to see if he will actually res it. Yeah, that's fine. We'll go through and have a look. Because he just drew a card, we don't know what it is. Is he going to res the Ash here? Probably not. See pad campaign. Yeah, I'm not that keen to trash that right now. Just want to get $3 more. So we have enough money to easily trash it when he does bother resing it. So this Katie is probably a little bit extra. I think our top priority is drawing into shutdown to punish that archer before he manages to find some more money and ice for his HQ. Good chance that's the pad, but he could be bluffing us. We don't really know. I'll just put on remote since why not? Okay, let's think about our turn. If we can draw, we can maybe get a shutdown. We don't. We can, same old special order, not very exciting. I don't hate just going in here and getting rid of the ash and legworking him. We know he has Toybox, and we don't know his other two cards. They're cards that he's drawn in the meantime. Alright, Celebrity Gift we know he has as well. I think I will get rid of this because we have enough money now that it's not going to be a hardship to do so. Let's run and get our $3 click. And I'll play out probably Corroder as well. Well, we could make it a surprise. I don't hate having shutdown on the board, or same old thing on the board to recur shutdown later in the game. Because if he's playing what we think he's playing, which is a lot of big ice, shutting them all down would be amazing. Okay, Jackson Howard, he's going to just maybe throw away his agendas. So once his Jacksons are all gone, we'll have a great chance to legwork. I think it's not time yet. So you can't really score unless you box out of hand, which you can't really afford to do. So we have him in an okay place. Yeah, smart play by him. He's guarding against Siphon. He's not going to get siphoned easily. So we'll go pick off the Jackson. Suppose he could let me trash it if he only drew 2, so he may not even have gotten rid of an agenda. So we'll just trash this. We can easily afford it. Let this get rezzed. Probably. It's not res, so what's in your hand now? Celebrity Gift we see again. Fine. Let's get rid of this. So this last counter, we're going to save it for the purposes of breaking a remote. What I'm curious about is if he's playing remote play at any point, like maybe going to get his toy box to stick and just flip cards for free, or if his plan is to just lock up centrals and then biotic stuff out. Either way, I think we can deal with whatever he's got. So there's a hedge fund. This could be a siphon opportunity, but it would use our last Rex token. I'd almost rather him commit to something in the remote and then just siphon him at that point. This could, excuse me, this could also cost like $8, at which point we're sad. I'm just gonna keep drawing for shutdowns. Shutdowns that will never arise. Wow. Do we even want this Katie Jones? We don't really, do we? No, we don't want her that much. Let's just get passport. Well, we might. I think we're gonna not lose our corroder. That's our plan. But the Katie Jones could come in handy if he does end up locking his servers down. We don't want to get caught out with no economy sources. I do play a sneak door, so I'm trying to lead this unresed. At some point, if he scores, we can just slam our sneak door and go in the back way. He's gonna get this turn. Okay. NAPD, couple ice, another toy box. Right. So we can break whatever this is. If it's code gate, we can't siphon through it. I just want to find shutdown, I think. There we go. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Do we laundry here for money? Probably not. I don't want to have to burn the ferry if it turns out something expensive. Well, I kind of want to set up for next turn. Yeah, this is fine. This is probably not a Janus. Let's pop window, sure. So now you have a lot of money, full set of breakers. Next turn we can siphon shut down. And we can shut down either this one, or potentially both if we use the same old thing. And don't care about floating tags. Floating tags is probably fine against his deck. So odds are that that is either the Wallace static we saw or the architect we saw. Probably the architect, because it costs us to burn our ferry, which we don't really want to do. So I assume he's planned for this line of play. He needs double sentry to beat this, or spend all his money, which is also fine for us. He's been waiting for this all game. So have I, so let's see what his defenses are. Yeah, so that's tough because we let him run that and he gets to bring out a Toybox and Ash or something else ridiculous. We don't, and this could wreck our face. Yeah, I wouldn't fire it. What he cannot do is get back things that let him dump all his money. He can dump maybe 4 from the archives. we need to save our fairy in case this is, for example, Archer. Having dumped our second corroder, we certainly can't lose this corroder. So this is Architect, this is probably Wall of Static, and this is probably nothing. Well, it's probably the Jackson or the Eliza's Toybox. This makes these shutdowns less good. Probably brought back Jackson Howard. Oh. Oh, he installed from HQ. Sure. What do we see here? Victor 2.0. We can click through that, or we can spend our last token. Let's click through, or let's break. Kind of expensive. Now you can res the toy box, I assume, and maybe another toy box. No, what does he have? Jackson? No, he lets me have the money. Interesting. I guess he wants me to float so that he can trash this. And we only really have one good shutdown target right now. I'm actually going to get rid of the tags because I want to keep security testing. And I probably, well, I could want to play Katie later on. This game is still far from over. So what's the Jackson in the remote? Which makes this the toy box. And this whatever was on top of his deck. So he's going through cards pretty fast. He can Jackson for Jackson. He's just cycling his hand because now he's worried about a legwork follow-up. Get some cards. So we're gonna want to draw. We're gonna run this Jackson, and at that point we need some RDIs eventually. Another dog. It's not the worst. Okay, let's go in here and see what we can see. It's not res the first ice. Could be a wall of static. It's another quandary. Sure. So what we're going to do now is we're going to empty our Rex, and we're going to pretend we don't have another one in the hopes they'll install an agenda in there. It's not likely to work because he might get the whole psychology thing we're trying to do here, but it at least gives him the opportunity to call our bluff. The other reason I thought about removing tags is that it's not crazy for these HP decks to play like 1x closed accounts. So this is Toybox. I think I do want to trash that. We can afford to do it. And now there's 2 Toybox in the trash. He's not going to get his archer re-resed, except the hard way, which is completely fine if he does it the hard way. Yeah, so if I'm him, I install an agenda here, or at least an Ash, some kind of thing that we want to just go through. So I'm going to install this first. In case of Bioroid, I'll run second action, and I can draw after, or whatever. It's not res the approach to ice. Whatever this is, you want to get rid of it. It's the 3rd Toybox. Oh, that's expensive, but now with 2 Jacksons trashed, there's a chance we'll have gotten rid of that for good. Katie, money on Katie? I think so. Getting to the point where it's a fairly taxing matchup, and we can use her efficiently, putting like 9 or 12 bucks, because we don't need the cash instantly. But this will let us get our RDIs down later on. Those are quite expensive, but they're also your late game way to ensure you win the game. So well played by him. He put something in the remote that was not an agenda just to bait us in. What we have here, we really don't have any idea what this is. Eve campaign isn't crazy. There's an RDI, that's why I'm talking about this KD money. He knows we can get in here. He's just gonna waste our time. Pop up window, sure. With Desperado, it takes a sting out of this kind of thing. Pat campaign, yep, kill that as well. So now we're certainly relying on Katie Jones for a little bit of economy. We also play same old Siphon. At this point, it costs us like 7 just to get into his HQ, so it's not really a great boost for us economically. But it does have the benefit of making him have no money, which is always desirable. We do play Mr. Lee's, just haven't gotten them yet. He's in pretty good shape. He's been throwing agendas away the whole game. We're probably getting close to the point where we should legwork him. Now, if you think about his hand, or his archives probably has NAPD in there. Setting up a triple ice server, he might go for Ash and 3-2 next turn. He has drawn a card. So at this point, I really believe he has an agenda in there. The big question is, do we bother taking money from Katie, doing legwork? If we get a legwork, we can bounce this. Fairly annoying for him. We'd be at 10, 8 from the legwork, 6, 7. We're basically very poor and can't even steal any APDs. It's not that exciting, if you ask me. But I also don't want to have to dig it out of his remote. So you don't have a better option is the problem. Money, legwork, same old shutdown. Or same old Siphon, float tags, legwork on the follow-up. Not very great. I think I just hate we might see an NAPD and can't steal it. I think we go next turn, and if he puts something in there, we just live with that. Okay. Yeah, this sure gamble makes everything a lot better. Is giving him a buck worth it on this pop-up window? It's not. Click for money. This is our only copy of Same Old Thing, so let's think about our line here. Take Katie. Legwork is 2. Maybe get a bounce on this card. Could be double sentry, in which case we could surprise him with a second fairy. Siphon him puts him to 6. Floating tags haven't really gained much money, all in all. I don't hate leg working. Wall of Static is probably here. Thing is, this could be anything, right? Two, 4, 6. Yeah, we're gonna legwork. We're gonna burn the fairy. For this Victor, we could pay 6 to break it, but 2 clicks is actually better. Pryrack, yes. Janice and Ichi. Alright, so what's the bounce? This could be a 3-2. It actually probably is a 3-2. Let's put it back in his hand. Time walk him there. And he might just reinstall it, which is fine. And if it was an Ash, he'll probably reinstall it too. So we're not going to learn anything from his behavior here. I still think we need more cards. More RDIs. But we also can barely afford the ones we have, so. Getting Mimic. Was I think we made the right choice in getting Fairy earlier on. Because it let us feel safe with the threat of more archers coming in. He's going to gift and show us 2 NAPDs. Wow. So it probably was the Ash that he just installed the previous turn. And so we clearly want to legwork again and take those. Okay, so that could be either Janice or it could be the Ichi. if it's the Janus, the fairy beats it for $6 and we don't have enough money to do anything else. Or we click take brain. And that's honestly fairly unexciting to me as well. He knows we have a hard time dealing with the Ichi with no suckers. No alias either. I don't think we go for this turn. I really don't. I think we just money up. Oh. Okay. Looking for the sneak door beta, honestly. Those NAPs are not going anywhere, or if they are, it's not great for him. Yeah, so this shard is like basically a form of multi-access against him. Although hitting the ash would be great, because he's now in a place where he has enough money to really use the ash. So this is meant to appear to be ash. Odds are good that it really is ash. And this is NAP and he's playing it straight. Which makes this Ichi or something that so if we determine this is NAPD contract, he has not discarded any cards, so the other one's in his hand. We steal it, and we bounce this one and we time walk him. Yeah. So worth letting Architect fire for this. He gets a lot of good stuff back. We're just really lacking in our ability to beat sentries. I think I'm gonna draw for Sneak Door. Shut down. Well, that's kind of compelling. Click through Ichi. I mean, we gotta get in there, right? Or do we? No, we don't. We really don't. Need to go this turn. We can be patient, and we can go next turn when we're fully prepared with this fairy in the board and all our clicks. Yeah, so he's basically forced to score that, which opens up the HQ for us. Or we could hit. We could put the RDI down. It seems less good. Run, break, click, and shutdown. Shutdown's not as exciting, really. Yeah, let's legwork. Click, click. Or land a shutdown here and a shutdown there. Shut down both is not that exciting. All right, let's see 3 cards. NAPD contract. Heimdall 2.0 NAPD contract. Okay, he got a third one. He just got kind of a little flooded there. And we pulled him out. So I feel like HB is not in a great place right now. I don't know. Something's just not quite working with them. The toy boxes could have got out of control. We trashed them pretty aggressively. Just having enough money to deal with their asset stuff is huge, and it's so important to start your deck with the basis of just having credits, having lots of credits. To the point where you can take, 2 NAPDs. To the point where you can just, get $3 in action almost. Thanks for watching, guys.